Recording in progress.
Cool. Visual on. Share screen. Boom. And then make it full screen.
Yes,
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Just like that. Q&A seminar. Is it working?
Yeah.
And I'll put this bar here. Okay, 2 people on so far. Close this. Okay, let's phone. Not big brother, big sister.
Yeah.
Call. Is the TikTok live?
Yeah.
What is happening?
What's up?
Couldn't you?
Good.
Can you see us everywhere?
Yes, I see you everywhere. You're good. Facebook, Zoom, others, and TikTok.
Okay, perfect. All right. And it looks okay behind me?
Yes, lovely. I
Lovely.
love the new artwork. I was well done.
Thank you, E.
Just tell the truth, I did it.
Okay.
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 Thanks, Lonnie. Awesome.
Bye.
Okay, perfect. What is up, everyone? Wednesday's Q&A. Last week, we had a 2-hour back-to-back question. So there were some kick-ass questions. And it was the night that I actually literally didn't sleep. So we had the awards evening on Thursday, and I was hyper nervous. I think hyper nervous is not even the right word. I don't know what nervous I was. But anyway, as you can see in front of me, can the people see that from the camera? No.
What's E? Yes.
Trophies, homie.
Oh,
It
no.
went well. Are you going to show them?
Yeah, show them.
So we went in, nominated for 2 awards: Reputation Dealer of the Year, as well as Dealer of the Year. So luckily, it worked out fine for us just then, and we were able to win both awards. The Reputation of the Year is extremely hard to defend next year. Everybody knows what's up. The camera angles.
Ja, van my also sit.
Okay. Jeez, but I speak with my hands. If I break one of these things, I'll feel
Dan gaan
horrible.
jy in die moeilikheid wees.
Yeah, groot moeilikheid.
Yeah.
So the Reputation of the Year was a tough one. It's just constantly asking feedback from each and every customer that had an experience with us, good, bad, or ugly. I always teach this to our team. A unhappy customer is a consultant that is willing to give you free feedback, like in real time, literally give you free feedback on the experience. So wherever the failure was, whatever the customer was unhappy about, is an opportunity for us to look at our process or the person that makes that customer. So whenever there's a big cock up in the business, it's always a process or a person. Now, the most exciting part is if it's a process. So sometimes our processes do fail us. We've had a couple of glitches with our website on the application form stage over the last couple of days where consumers get stuck on page 3. It's very frustrating, but we are working around the clock. It seems to be figured out now. So if it's a process, amazing. This is not slick. This needs to improve. This is not working. If it's a person, obviously we need to get that person and make sure that they're unexpected from myself, from the management team, from the consumers, most importantly from the consumers. We pick it up from there. Then the rest of the night was very exciting. AutoTrader has come up with absolutely incredible AI tools that are not only going to help the dealerships, but rather going to help you, the consumers, to better search for your dream car. And in a nutshell, it's very complex, but in a nutshell, they make it very simple. So when you're searching for let's say, for example, a sedan car of 300,000 Rand, and you've looked at a C-Class, you've looked at a 3 Series, you've maybe looked at a Jetta, Passat, whatever you've looked at, and the AI in the background sort of picks up what your likes and dislikes are, what your tendencies are, and they tailor show you the vehicles that might suit you and your family's needs. So if you've been shopping a sedan in the price bracket of 300,000, they won't show you a Fortuner, for example, or they won't show you a double cab Legend 50 because you're not in the market for that at the moment. You can still go and filter and search through for those vehicles, but in real time, it will show you the vehicles that are in your current interest basket. And obviously, dealerships will have an opportunity with different packages, and the higher the package goes for the dealerships, the more prominent your artwork, your ads will be, the more prominent your vehicle will. I love that rule. Mr. George uses it quite often. The more real estate you will be able to occupy on the Auto Trader website at that specific point. And currently they are on 15 million unique searches per month. That is crazy.
Another level.
Another level. Elena, you're watching this. Why are we not at 15 million unique searches per month? You've got work to do, girl. Pick it up. You must pick it up. Having said that, Q&A, it's exactly the same as last week, and just no preparation from my side whatsoever in terms of a topic. I'm not going to run slides and show you stats or percentages, nothing like that. You are welcome to shoot a question, and I will answer it to the best of my ability, off the cuff, as they say, just whatever is on my mind at that point. When that specific question, I'm going to shoot from the hip and give you my best. Else, do we have a question already?
Just saw someone said that audio was bad.
The audio, okay. Okay. Do you want me to maybe wear a lapel mic? What would you like? Or can I move these to the side here? Because I'm scared I'll knock them over. So I'll just put them up here on me. And, just give us a signal there on TikTok if you guys feel that the audio is improved, or do you still need to plug that thing in somewhere?
It should be approved.
Already. Okay, cool. What's the first question? What's up?
Can you negotiate with the dealership? How much can you sort of negotiate by? 5K less, 10K less?
Okay, great question. So I'm going to say this. Depending on the dealership and the way that background works in the dealership, you can. The answer is yes. However, having said that, there's a lot of factors, multiple factors. Number one factor is the popularity of the vehicle. A couple of hours ago, a dealership in the Northwest, which is out, we've got a Toyota Hilux double cab Legend 50 full box. We're selling the bucket for $599, and the dealership reaches out. The manager says, "Hey, Uncle B, love your content. We're learning a lot. Thank you very much for sharing so freely and such valuable information. You want to do a quick in and out at 570. I've got a customer for this car. Can you invoice me 570?" So my response, literally, I can find that chat and just screenshot it and share it here. My response is, "Brother, you should be writing my jokes for me when I'm in content because you're funny." So, and that's where I live, because 30,000 rand on a premium car like that, it hasn't even arrived at the depot yet. We haven't even taken images of the car. We shot the vehicle as it was purchased, and we made it arriving soon, which means it's literally traveling from Northwest to Pretoria. So on a vehicle like that, the chances of you getting a discount from a dealer is absolutely, if I could use less than zero, a number smaller than zero, but we'll stick to zero. Now, having said that, most dealerships are funded by some sort of a floor plan. So what floor plan actually means is a dealership will typically sign a agreement with Westbank or ABSA, MFC, all of them offer this facility, and they will use the bank's money to purchase that vehicle. And they will pay a monthly interest on that money that they used to purchase that vehicle. So typically, around the 90-day mark, a vehicle starts to burn a dealership. What that means is, at 90 days, if you don't sell that car, if it goes over another, let's say 30 days to 120, you'll actually start losing money on that vehicle. The interest will eat up into the profit. So it's always a race to sell that car as quickly as possible for the amount that you advertise the vehicle so that you can pay the interest, hopefully just for 1 month or 15 days, whatever the time period is. And after you pay the interest, you are left with a profit. So, on a very, very popular car that is new in stock, the chances are very small to answer your question. On a aging unit or an old age stock unit, the chances definitely do increase. So you will be able to get maybe a 5 or a 10 or now I'll be honest with you, on our website right now we've got a Toyota 86. It's not a full black car, but this vehicle literally it's like burning. It's a manual, the car brand new, silver in color, it's kick-ass, it's such a cool sports car. And we just can't sell it. Everyone wants the car when they see it's a manual now. And the manual ones that actually the one that you want to drive. It's very dynamic. It's super fun to drive. It's got rev matching like an into, so when you're going from fourth into third, you don't need to toe heel that vehicle. The revs match, so when you leave the clutch, there's no jerk. Lots of tech to Toyota, it's reliable, and the car with us for 6 months. Maybe even longer than 6 months. I'm just actually double check. We're giving a 40,000 rand cash back if you buy that car because that's literally all the money we have in the car, 679 if I'm not mistaken. So we're giving away our entire profit as a cashback if you purchase that vehicle. So if you finance it, we'll throw 40,000 back in your account, or if you pay in cash, you just pay the price that you see advertised less 40,000. So on that vehicle, I'm willing to give away 40,000. But on a new fresh arrival, something that's very popular that we do well with, like a Ranger, XLTs especially, just as I left, because this is what we call MITMAC 4. I normally sit at MITMAC 1. That's where you see me behind my desk. As I was leaving, there was a very big colored gentleman sitting with Spoonie. And I said to Spoonie, I hope this man is not going to ask for a discount because we are not enough in this room to calm him down if he gets upset as a joke. So he says, you know what, Uncle B, I'm here for an XLT Ranger. Can I get 5 grand with? So which one? This red one. I said, sir, the chances are literally zero because there's like look at the amount of apps that are in on this vehicle already. We had a few declines, but he wants to do an EFT, so he's probably going to take that vehicle by the time we end this. So very popular car, very new in stock at a dealership. Now, old age unit, a car that's burning the dealership, floor plan interest is chowing that car. Definitely, you can definitely be pushy for this car. Next question, please.
You can use this camera.
Okay. That camera. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, no problem. Say you got 576 score and you earn roughly 25,000 rand net. You're done with all your debts. Would one be able to get finance? Terry. Terry's?
Thank you,
Yes.
Eve.
Okay, thanks, Elena. That's a good question. So, brother Terry, 575 is a very low credit score. Just a telltale sign on your question is you are done with all your debts. So does that mean that you had debts that fell behind that you had to catch up? That's scenario one. Or does it mean everything went smooth and you paid them all up and now you've got no more debts? Because it's two different answers. And I'll answer both of them because we don't have the luxury of actually having a one-on-one. So if you have had debts that fell behind and you caught them up and you've paid them up and they're clear, what I suggest you do is the following. Wait for 90 days so that the bank can have a 90-day period where they look back into your history and they see there's no debit orders that have bounced, that have actually had an issue, a rejected debit order, or someone has listed you as a slow payer. After 90 days, the probability of success is very high. If you have, on the other scenario, if you have had accounts that you have fully settled, everything was smooth, everything was on time, with that low score in both scenarios, you should go as new as possible, as low risk as possible within your affordability bracket. Now, 25,000 Rand, so you are looking at about 7,000 Rand that you can qualify for installment per month. You should buy a car that's under 7,000 Rand per month. So between 5 and 6, maybe just over 6,000 Rand, as new as possible, as new as 2025 model, because the bank will see it this way. If Terry doesn't pay for the vehicle, it is a Polo Viva, it's a 2025 model. Historically, when we repo these cars, the tendency is that we get 110, 120, 130% of market value. Now, to explain market value is very simple. You take the trade and the retail, you add them together and you divide them by 2. So that's the middle between trade and retail. And that's more or less what they recover across the board. Now, I'm not talking Hilux, Fortuner, Polo, Ranger, Wildtrak, Raptor. Those are very popular cars and they reach up. But more like they have lots of cars in the pool. They've got Alphas, they've got Peugeots, they've got Renaults, they've got cars that are not as popular, where Range Rovers, for example, where the outstanding amount is just so high that they don't reach that market value. But across the board, for example, Polo Viva, I know for a fact they achieve well above market value. So as new as possible and within your affordability bracket, and you should be sweet, my brother. Okay, next question. Can I buy a car? Can I buy midnight like we buy cars as a shareholder? I don't understand that question. I'm going to move on to the next one.
Okay.
Hey bro, planning to buy and sell cars on a small scale.
Can I contact you
Directly
directly?
to give me some advice. Okay, cool. Good question. So we do offer a mentorship program. I take 2,500 to 4,500 WhatsApps per day, all the way up to 11, 12 o'clock at night. During the day, I handle between 300 and 500 phone calls. My phone doesn't stop. So I'd love to help you. We do offer a mentorship program where it's a one-on-one like this. We recently helped a youngster start his car business journey. Very cool guy. It is a paid event, so it's 25,000 Rand for 90 minutes, and we process this. This is how we won Dealership of the Year 2 years in a row, and this is how I helped. So we did 22 dealers that sat with me for the entire day. That was a 50,000 Rand for the day event. But 3 of the dealerships that were losing money last year actually qualified for categories in the Auto Trader Dealer of the Year Awards in different segments, in different sections, in the small division. So I helped them go from losing money every month to actually qualifying as top 3 in that size dealership segment in the country. 25K for 90 minutes. If you buy 2 of those bookings from myself and the team, then it's 50,000 Rand and you get 3 sessions, all professionally recorded in our studio package for your needs. I will cover anything from how not to buy clone vehicles, objection handling, how to price your car, how to reverse engineer the selling price at point of purchase, because you make your profit in the buying and never in the selling. So how do you price the vehicle correctly so that it doesn't stand long at the point of purchase so that you can move those cars quickly? That is a paid option, but I would love to. If I had the time, believe me, I would want nothing more to sit with you in a coffee shop and 2 hours spend time and show you the mistakes I've made. But unfortunately, my day is back to back to back to back to back to back. Like if I screw up 10 minutes somewhere in the day, the rest of the day is just a nightmare. But we do offer this, and it's after hours. So it will be. We did one last night. There's a national workshop. They scaled to 8 different locations. They are in 4 provinces, and they saw us 3 months ago. Okay, the month after they saw us, the record month. The month after that, beat that record, and unfortunately, last month they're experiencing the next phase of growth, which is very normal and it's very hard to deal with, and it's very frustrating. They've got staff issues because the pressure is now more. There's bickering, and the old guys don't play well with the new guys. The experienced technicians sort of don't want to handle the extra pressure because they're used to one level of pressure. And with growth, it's just the ability to bear stress. The more stress you can bear, the more money you'll make. It's just that simple. So we processed with them some tier systems, how we run commissions, how we structure bonus incentives. I've got the best bonus incentives. We call it a photo finish. So I'm going to have for the first time in my career, I'm going to have two boys this month, house, two boys that break 40 cars this month. Two of them will break 40 cars this month. Okay, I'm not saying who, because I don't. If they're watching, I don't want them, to have their egos are really big, and I keep it in check. But for the first time in my career, driving salespeople as a leader in a dealership, for the first time, I'm going to have two boys break 40. I'm going to have 5 boys break 20. But the two that are going to break 40 are so close. They will literally, the one will break 40 by Wednesday, looking at his pipeline, and the other boy should break it on Friday, because month end is Friday. He's very, very close. He had a bit of a misstep today. He didn't take any cars today, but tomorrow he's probably going to do 5 or 6. So that's the long and the short of it. Okay, next. Uncle Bobby, would you consider having a masterclass, people starting up with the industry? Yeah, I think I just covered that. Definitely, it's this is more boys and girls and groups that are currently running dealerships and have current problems, because I know where the sort of the ceiling is on how do you break through from 20 to 30 cars, 30 to 50 cars. So we are 20 years old. Our company is 20 years old, and it took us about 14 years to get to 100 cars. Okay. So check out this month. Once we figured out 100, the same year we went to 150, and in about 12 months after that, we were doing 200 plus. We made a few changes, a lot of mistakes, and we went from 200 to 378 within 8 months. So it's knobs, right? If you turn this knob too much, okay, the sales grow. It's very easy for me to add another 50 cars in our system. Super easy. I know what knob to turn. The difficult part is to turn the knob on sales while maintaining high quality at the depot, high quality at the buying department, high quality at F&I, high quality across the sales training, high quality amongst the managers, the communication. So the mistake that I made is I left all the other knobs and I put both hands on sales, and I just turned it until it broke. And I'm like, that's where it's staying. Threw it in the dustbin. Like some of those Afrikaans uncles, when they drink brandy, they open the brandy, they put the lid on the floor and they trap it, and we're gonna finish this. That's what I did with that knob. The problem that I experienced after that, and it was very hard sore, is every other department broke. It took us 2 years to fix the mess that I had created in the depot. We had to develop infrastructure, 19,000 square meters, to support the growth of sales. We had to turn back that knob. It's like when I say that to people, they're like, huh? I'm like, yes. Had we not turned back that knob, this trophy won't be here, this trophy won't be here, this trophy. None of these trophies are here, and we'll have more money in the bank, but we have a shit reputation. Now, because I want to do this until the day I die, I'm playing a very, very long game and not a short game. So the faster I turn the knob on support, the better it is for the company, even though sales may be stagnating or sales are at a point where this is very controllable. I can maybe add 5% a month now, 5%. So we went back all the way down to 170, 175, 180, and we're consistently pushing past 200 vehicles. We're profitable, and there's very little drama with customers, meaning each and every car is prepared for my mother. That's the rule at the depot. You prepare this vehicle, whatever it is, Range Rover, Fiat 500, this car is going to Mama Maria. You all know Mama Maria, yes? Will she make it home? Can she do her daily business? Yes, she can. That's fine. Then we can give her the car, and she won't be shy when she stops at the mall to meet her friends for coffee because the car looks new. Right. So that was this part. For up and comers, your problems that you face are different to these boys and girls. Your problems are, think about it this way. These guys are walking around in the jungle and they are from time to time seeing a lion or stepping on a landmine. You are literally, when you start off, you are the food that these guys are looking for. Now, having said that, from an angle of they're going to make you overpay for their tradings because you're inexperienced. So that masterclass, I've never even thought about that. But if there's an appetite, the way that you look at the industry as a newbie is different to the way that you look at the industry selling 20 to 30, because 20 to 30 is like literally 5 hours. I'll get you past 50. I ask you 10 technical questions, fix your comp structure, fix the way you drive your people, fix your daily routines, fix what you do first, what you do last, structure your day correctly, because that took me a minute. But once I do that, 30 to 50 is easy. Then we go 50 to 70, 70 to 100, 100 to 150. And I'm not teaching you something that I don't know how to do. I'm teaching you stuff that I'm doing each and every day. But as a newbie, whole new set of problems. So I haven't thought about it. Maybe we do it one day. Do's and don'ts with financing your first car. Financing your first car, very simple. The do's, go as new as possible within your affordability bracket and don't listen to the Joneses. So if you can afford a 6,000 Rand per month car, buy a brand new Vivo. Don't buy a 2012 GTI 1.4 DSG with 165,000 Ks because it has a fucking sunroof. Don't do that. Be smart, because that Polo's Megatronics will break, the DSG box will break. Yes, the chicks will climb in the car because you're young and your brain's still developing. That's what you're chasing. But the maintenance on that vehicle will literally have you as a young person not work towards your future and build assets that will pay you later. You'll just work for a stupid 1.4 DSG Polo with a sunroof. So don't be smart. Don't be a dummy. That's a big one. But what is the best way to go about financing? Having my banker do it through my bank or make use of a dealership? So, wonderful question. We touched on it last week as well. And there are dealers in the country, a very small percentage of them, who actually raise interest rates to enrich themselves by getting more DIC, more kickbacks from the bank. Now, this is not a double-digit percentage of dealerships that do that. It's not. I'm going to defend. I'm going to defend my industry and my colleagues here. Very few dealers do it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. They do it. Now, having said that, when it comes to dealing with a personal banker and an interest rate versus dealing with your dealership and an interest rate, it's a fight I've had with many of these, even the CEOs of these companies. There is zero reason the personal banker will get you a better interest rate than the actual F&I working at the dealership. If you think about this logically, the risk on that money is not with a banker, it's not with a dealer. The risk on that money is with the consumer, with you. So the bank should give you the same rate in both instances. If the private banker, for one or other reason, gets a 0.5 better than the dealership needs to be made aware. They need to take it up with head office and they need to rule them. They need to have a fight with them because that's not fair on anybody. Having said that, our dealership, I know most dealers use our same process, but our dealership, Mitmac Motors, I will never release a car on a delivery note from a personal banker because that's where the fraud happens. So identity theft and fraud is massive. It's R1 billion a year per bank problem with a B, not with an M, with a B. So R1 billion a year, the banks lose due to fraud. So the moment you hand over that delivery note, I'm going to send the paperwork to the banker. I'm going to wait for my remittance. The remittance is a piece of paper. It's like a receipt that says we have paid the following transaction over into your account. Once I have the remittance, I will send that document to my people at Westbank or ABSA, wherever it is, and I will make sure that that is not a falsified remittance. And once they approve it, can you handle the actual delivery? Now, this creates a lot of sour faces from the customers, from the dealers, and it just creates a bad experience between the two parties in the interaction because the personal banker is not an expert in car finance. Number one, they have to do credit cards, home loans, overdrafts. They have to have one-on-ones. So they've got a target for each and every silo that they have to fulfill. They're not experts. I've worked with some great ones. Like there's a few very good ones that are on the ball. But we had an incident in our company where the personal banker went on holiday on Thursday and came back the following Wednesday. Customer had signed half the contract. The personal banker switched off his phone and just went on holiday. No one could reach him, not an email. There was no, baton being passed to, listen, I'm going on holiday, salute, enjoy your car, but John here is next to me. He's standing in and he'll sort you out with all your car needs. Nothing, gone. That customer is fluking everybody, including us. Homie, I didn't do anything. You chose the personal banker. I could match the rate, but you have a great relationship with this dude and you've been buying cars from him for the past 10 years. That's how he treats you. So the moment I had that conversation with him, Bobby, but you're very arrogant. I said, I'm not arrogant, brother. Will you give me the car if you are in my position? Half signed contract, no remittance, bullshit insurance. Like the stuff isn't on. That's your personal banker that organized it. And eventually the consumer calmed down and said, looking at it from your lens, I do agree. I apologize. Can we go and do the deal with you? Yes, yes. Head office, cancel contract there, send that out to us, signed him up. I think it was 2 hours later, the consumer was driving his car. But that's the frustration, and I'm not throwing flames at them. They do have a purpose in the market to make sure they protect you, the consumer, from the dealer that lifts interest rates to get more DIC. Okay, next. What are good starter level costs for new working professional? It depends on your price range. But I would say if it's a starter car, new working professional, make sure you don't max out your installment to income ratio. And what I would suggest is think about the amount of money that you're going to have to spend maintaining that vehicle. I use this example. Polo Vivo 2025 for the price of a 1.8 Polo GTI, let's say it's a 2017 or 18 model. It's got 110,000 Ks, no service plan, no warranty versus full warranty, maybe no service plan, but the services are cheap. So think about maintaining the vehicle. So I'll go as new as possible with warranty backup and potentially a service plan because then this is my budget for my wheels and I'm going to get around safely. It's going to be reliable. It's not going to break down on me the whole time. And if something should happen, the manufacturer will handle it and we carry on with life. Next, I purchased a vehicle a while ago, first buy. The dealer tried hard to get the right deal just to find out I was financed for 5 years. What can I do that this does not happen in the future? I'm not sure what the question is. I'm literally confused. So another problem that I have with buying a vehicle is the consumer is overly excited when they sign the paperwork. Overly excited. They are not focusing on what's important in front of them, ahead of them. Contract, asking the questions. They just want to go and visit their homie with that car and go and show off and have a nice drive with music and everything like that. So unfortunately, if you didn't want to sign on 5 years and you wanted to sign on 4 years, you signed on 5 years. Okay? The dealer can go back and say, but I did show you and I did explain to you it's 60 months or whatever the term was. If you had a problem with that, then you should have raised it right there and then, and they can go and readjust the contract. So don't be too quick to blame the dealerships. I'm going to defend the dealer network again. Sometimes it's on you because you don't read your paperwork. You don't focus when that F&I is speaking to you. And if an F&I uses jargon, like, for example, VAPs, and they use acronyms. Sorry, I don't understand the jargon or the acronym. Can you explain it to me like a 5-year-old? And then they're going to go away from the acronym and say, okay, this is a value-added product. It's a VAP. It's called Tire and Rim. By the way, that's a nice product. It's called Tire and Rim. The cost is 3,500 Rand. You can claim twice a year of a maximum of 10,000 Rand or whatever the cover is, and it's for 2 years. So if you claim both 10,000, 10,000, you've got 20,000 Rand cover for the price of 3.5. Why it came to mind is I sold a vehicle to a very, very nice couple. I went to school with the lady's younger brother and sister. So they bought cars for me, and this couple bought a beautiful X3 from me about 2 months ago. He called me on a Sunday, like very weird time. Brother, you okay? Uncle B. And then he used a word, Afrikaans word. You can just imagine it's 3 letters. He said, I hit the potter. I'm like, homie, are you okay? Is the family okay? We all fine, Uncle B, but yeah, 2 tires burst. And I remember there was a tire and rim policy, and I know it's got pothole protection. What do I do? I said, cool. WhatsApped one of the F&Is and said, I wasn't available at my PC at the time. Are you close to your laptop? Always cool. This is the policy number. Sent him in real time. I hope he's watching this. If he's not, we should cut a reel out of this and I can send it to him. Sent him in real time the policy number. He went to, if I'm not mistaken, a Super Quick or a tire place, whatever it was that was closest to him. They replaced both the tires. They did the claim. The claim paid out. I don't think he had zero contribution. Already on that 3,500 Rand policy, he's made up his money 3 times within the first 2 months. So that's a value added product. But if you've signed on the paperwork and you haven't asked your questions correctly, and you allowed that F&I to charm you and confuse you and just sign, go, then you should also take a little bit of ownership to make sure that the next time around you ask the questions. You understand that contract. Even if the F&I says I'm in a hurry, come, let's sign in 10 minutes and go. Bullshit. You take as long as you need, because if that dealership is out there to serve you, they will allow you the time that you need for you to make a proper decision when it comes to contract. Once it's signed, it's sealed, and the car's delivered. That's how it stays for the rest of the term. I hope I added value to you. Do you think biggest impact was being aggressive with social media? Do you think your biggest impact was being aggressive on social media? Frost. So very, like literally one of the best questions that I get asked all the time. And the answer is going to take you on a small journey. If you listened to me about 20 minutes ago, where I said these are the knobs that you turn for sales, these are the knobs that you turn for F&I, these are the knobs that you turn for backup. Everything is a knob. Social media is a knob. So we generate 335,000 plus unique views across all our channels per day. Okay, it's a big number. There's no one that even comes close to that. There's literally no one that comes 10% of that consistently. I'm talking about daily. That's a knob. In order for us to achieve this, there's a team that no one sees. Easy. She lives in the Midrand area. We've got Elena. We've got an editor, Super Wes. They've made a sticker from him where he's standing like this, and it's a W on his thing that he wears with a cape. Then we've got Elsie. We've got people in the call center that handle all the action that comes in. Then you've got me. I'm awake. This morning, I'm chatting to George, and just a catch up after the weekend, and he said to me, Bobs, a couple of dealers, like 4 or 5 dealers, have called me and said, what is the one thing that you can tell us that we can improve on to get closer to Mid-Mac in terms of the way that they're running now? So I said, what did you say? So he gave them the whole spiel. I said, you missed a very important part, and I'm going to go on our chats with him now and show you in front of everybody. George Mini. Okay, you can use my friend. Okay. So I said to him, the most important part that you forgot to show them is this. I took a screenshot of my wake up time. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you guys see it? It's a bit delayed here. Okay, there we go. That's a screenshot that I sent him of my wake up time. So I wake up at 4 a.m. I'm in my car 4:45 on the way to the gym. From the moment I wake up until the moment I go to sleep, I work. Okay, constantly work. And my job, unfortunately, it's my position that I hold in the company as the CEO. My job is not the fluffy part. Congratulations, well done. This was the only time when I walked up on stage for a minute, I was like, yeah, super proud. The team did well, and I get to go and receive. My job is firefighting every day. I need to bulldoze the problems every day for everyone. And the way that we've set up the management system is I've got the most capable managers under the sun. So they help me with that. I don't bulldoze the problems alone. But the really, 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 really heavy stuff comes to me and I need to make a call. I'm dealing with a very big issue at the moment. There's going to be an advocate involved in this issue. It's a massive issue. It's a big, big problem that I'm dealing with, where an advocate has to come in. And there's a decision that I need to make. I've already made it, and I'm not going back on the decision. And that event is taking place on Monday. Now, that sort of stuff is draining. But to get back to your question, was our aggression on social media the reason why our company grew so much? It had a big part in that. But if I'm very aggressive on social media and we get all the leads that we do, I mean, we're generating our salespeople. This is hand on heart. Nowhere in the motor industry will you ever hear this from a salesperson. Please stop sending me leads. I'm swamped. I cannot handle all the leads. We've got like a group on leads where once a salesperson like taps out, they literally tap out. The two boys that are going to do 40 cars this month, the one boy has been tapped out for 5 days. He does not. I send him a lead. He says, please send this to someone else. I said, brother, listen to me. Look at me. This is not a lead. This is a deal. Just take this guy's money. He wants to pay you invoice. I can't handle it, Pops. I appreciate you. I'm swamped. I need to take care of the customers that we have. So had we only gone social media, boom, without the support of a team that can handle the extra leads, it would have broken. It like the only thing social media does is expose you for who you truly are. It might take a month, it might take 6 months. But if you continuously on that accelerator button to get more and 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 more leads coming in through social media, but your backup system can't handle that, then all you're going to do is create a horrific name for yourself out there. But on your question, huge part of our success. I mean, we built a 1 million following YouTube channel. I literally, the only thing that I ever thought of for like 2.5 years was YouTube. TikTok, not interested. Instagram, not interested. Facebook, not interested. What are you interested in? YouTube. Podcast, long form, interviewing from gangsters to, I had a guy that was imprisoned, incarcerated. He killed his own brother. It's one of the most emotional 2 hours of my life. I was very blessed. My cousin was my brother. He lives in Bulgaria. He was here that day, and he is hard, man. He's a tough boy. He's such a G. And at a stage, were you filming that day?
Yeah.
So at a stage, we've got all these big lights on us, and I'm literally like blind. I can't see behind the lights. But I'm having a conversation with this guy, and he eventually is reformed. He preaches. He's a pastor. He's such an inspiration to the youth. He is, I love him to bits. And I'm looking at him, and he's emotional. He's got tears in his eyes. I'm fucking crying, and just I like glance. There was 5 people in the room. Everyone, including my cousin, who's the hardest boy you'll ever meet. He looks like Andrew Tate. He's built muscles, tattoos, very successful. 23, 24 years old. He's a top G. He's crying. And that's the stuff I enjoyed about YouTube. And after the interview says, Bobs, this guy changed my life, like literally for the last 2 hours. Brother, this is amazing. But then I saw that journey, the YouTube journey, with, because that's a big thing for our team. to get a plot for 1 million subs, that's fucking crazy. And the moment we got it, I lost interest. Not completely, like I don't want to do YouTube, but the passion, the fire, the desire that I had for that was just focused on other areas. But that's very important, very hard to do. That helped grow our business even more than social media, because that's a very, very powerful tool. So I'm not going to spend more time on your question. I hope I answered it in a very different way. I'm going back to that group with the other questions. This is not lying. Okay, the biggest impact. Next one. When is the best time to trade in your opinion? So if you finance the vehicle with normal HP, so normal hire purchase, 72 months, no residual, no deposit, and you bought a decent car, meaning it had average mileage and the condition was good, and you drove average mileage. Sort of the perfect time to trade in where you achieve a break even point is 32 months. Now it becomes more technical. If you took, we currently, right now, Maklatsi is doing a deal with a lady by the name of Vanessa, and she's from the Free State. She bought a Hilux a couple of months ago. She loaded a whole bunch of cuck on that Hilux, stuff that she doesn't need. Right. She's about to have a back operation, and the doctor, the surgeon, said to her, "Man, you can't drive a Hilux because it's not going to support your back." Okay, she loves the thing. It's got like under 5,000 kilometers. She drives very little. It's an elderly woman in her 60s. And she says, "Bob's, help me out. I need to get rid of this thing. What can I buy to drive for the next 5 or 7 years?" Okay, ma'am, do you know that all this extras plus the interest, we're going to have a very big shortfall? She said, "Bob's, I want to buy 2 cars." So divide the shortfall into 2 cars. I want a bakkie. Okay, so we're giving a nice bakkie that drives really, really softly. And I want a mini SUV. So we're going from Hilux, we're going straight into a Ford Ranger XLT, and we're going into a Toyota 2025 model urban cruiser. So it's also a mini SUV. She sometimes drives dirt roads. The roads are not the best where she stays, and both vehicles can support that. That woman is going to knock 200,000 rand. It's a reality. The interest, the amount of stuff that they put on that contract that was not even necessary, like crazy stuff. I don't want to badmouth the dealer, but he didn't do her solid there. He wasn't good. That wasn't a great deal for that lady. So she's gonna knock 200,000. We're gonna split that knock 100. The challenge here is, and I've had this conversation with her like in a rough way, man. You may not phone me to trade in any one of these 2 vehicles for 5 years. You may not phone me, because if you do, then you will lose even more money. So you need to think about this decision nicely tonight and phone me tomorrow. "Bob's, I can't live with the Hilux. I'm happy to do the deal with both cars, with that load on each car, 100. Or, you know what, Bob, after the surgery, let me just feel how the Hilux drives. If I can be okay with it, sweet, no problem." But if you sign those contracts and you want me to take you out of these 2 vehicles within 5 years, you're going to lose money. Deal? Deal. Thank you very much. You make the decision, go sleep on it, come back to me. So it's very hard. If you want me to get more technical, Bauer, JP Bauer. If you want me to get really technical and deep on your specific case, shoot me a WhatsApp later. Give me details on how far along on the journey are you, what is your settlement, what is the mileage, the condition of your vehicle, and I'll be able to give you bespoke advice. Okay. Do I check if sales are not lying about which bank approved or declined my application? Okay, Sabelo Pungula. Sabelo, great question. You know, I've been educating the industry for it's like the reason, in fact, the reason why we have that million subscriber YouTube blog is because the first video, educational video that I posted on our platform was who controls the interest rate and how do you check if you're getting the best rate. So all you need to do is ask him for the podium. If you ask that person for the podium, the podiums, how many banks approve me? 2 banks, cool, shoot me the podiums, and then you'll see the recommended rate there. And the salesperson doesn't have an opportunity to lie to you. The next best thing is you found that salesperson, ask them for their FNI's number, the finance and insurance manager's number, and you have a chat and a discussion with those people. Normally, the finance and insurance person I won't say is more open, but is more technically capable to answer your questions. So this is what this bank said. This is why they declined it. These are the three reasons or two reasons. These are the two banks that approved it. This is the rate at this bank. This is the rate at the second bank. And the reason for this high rate or low rate, whatever it is this, where the salesperson is not always privy to that information, depending on the dealership structure. Okay, KB Burner, good evening. Do you have any fleet management training available? Yes, sir, we do. We do, definitely. We deal with a lot of fleets. Fleets are fun until they're not. So the way that you deal with fleets is just biz dev and relationship building. You should be anticipating their next move before they make it and be ready for it months ahead, literally months ahead. So depending on some of the fleets that we do, I handle fleets for Uber owners, people that have built up a portfolio of 25, 35, 45 Uber cars. That's a fleet that I manage, and I manage it very carefully because that is a very specific point at which we need to get that car out of your fleet, like in this week now. Otherwise, anything past that is going to burn you, and your profitability might dip. So we do offer that. If you want me to spend some time with you, you're welcome. Shoot me a WhatsApp. Cape Canter Street 2018 or Grand I-10 2018. What is better? Wanting to buy for my first wife. Flip a coin, and before the coin lands on your hand, whatever car you hope the coin lands on, buy that one because it's the same car, brother. Very similar. Okay, one more question. What are the top things to avoid to hinder growth in the industry? So hinder growth in the industry. So I'm not sure from what position you're asking me this, but I think you're asking me from either a salesperson position or a business owner position. And I'll give you a short answer for both. Salesperson position, the main reason salespeople stop growing is because they stop learning. And I'm not speaking about learning fancy stuff that some book offers you on social media marketing and stuff like that. That is as important. Salespeople do not understand the industry in its entirety. The reason why I can lead the number one finance and insurance team in the country back to back 3 years in a row, back to back mega division, is because I'm a qualified F&I. I qualified the moment that we got bank approval. I qualified. I wrote the exams. The first exam I ever wrote was through the IDA, and the trainer was Quibus, Uncle Quibus. I'll never forget it. Quibus. I go there. It was my, which one was it? There's so many, but it's the first one that I ever wrote. So I think it was the first seminar that he hosted, and it was by that 4x4 club. I don't think it exists. Just before you go down that bridge in Kazina, we used to have a big board there. I see Webar Cars is on that board. On the left-hand side, that was where the event was hosted in a room. I went there in the morning at 8 o'clock. I never had lunch. I never stood up from my chair. I never peed. From 8 o'clock, I studied that book. When we wrote at 4 o'clock, and then Corbus was a G, he says, Bobs, I understand you want to pass. You will pass. You know this work. You've been doing this for years. Please eat lunch. I said, well, I can't. I can't afford not to pass this test. I need to be the example in your class. And until recently, I know that somebody got 100% for that exam, but until recently, I got 98% for that exam. And every single test that came after that, when it comes to F&I, I attended it and I made sure I passed. So I understand value-added products. I understand in depth how a warranty works, why a warranty would decline. I understand the insurance industry. I understand the banking industry. I understand how step-up payments work. When MFC introduced step-up payments, I picked up my phone. I found my homie, Felicia. She's a marketer. How are you? What kind? What kind? She's a proper G. She says, Bobs, what's the story? If I want you to please help me understand step-up payments. Okay, cool. Now, like when are you coming? I don't want to do a phone discussion. When is your next dealer visit? I've got a book and a paper and a pen. I want to ask you technical questions so that I understand step-up payments better than you. Deal? Deal. Boom. We had an hour discussion, back and forth. Anything else pops? Not now, but if I find something, may I please phone you again? Yeah, sure. So from a salesperson's point of view, that's why they get stuck and that's why they never break that point. They also don't understand how to wear a finder cap, a closer cap, and a builder cap. You have to wear all three. You need to know how to find business. You need to know how to close effectively, eloquently. It's the most valued skill in our industry. Guys that can close. It's the most toxic people. Those are the most toxic people. Horrible attitudes, ugly to FNRs, ugly to colleagues, ugly to managers. Because he knows I do 8 cars at this VW. If I get fired, I'll do 8 cars at another VW, and they end up with me, and my cadets do 15 cars. There you go, toxic, and I just yacht them away. Sorry, it's the most toxic culture, a good closer. And the best part is, it's the easiest trade to teach. It's the easiest for me to teach you how to become a great closer. It's the easiest. It's hard to teach you how to be a finder, and it's harder to teach you how to be a builder, but it's super easy. The hardest closers in our company are introverts, soft spoken, shy, just like this. Serial killer closing strategies because they are there to serve. And then the builder hat is, how do I get you to become a walking, talking billboard? Because eventually what happens is we can get to 3.5 million views per day. If someone says to you, listen, bro, at the bride, Johnny, I've known you for 20 years. I recently bought a car from Eugene at Micmac Motors. He treated me royally. Bob's treated me royally. The F&I treated me royally. The cleaners all greeted me. The guy at the coffee, I always say to our guys, our barista puts drugs in the coffee because you always come back for more. Everything was sweet. I trust them. I refer you to them. You can have 3.5 billion views a day. Nothing is more powerful than that one-on-one. And that's what a good builder does. But that's also a trait that very few salespeople want to learn. Now, if I go on the other side as a business owner, why does a business owner hit a ceiling and they stop growing? And the answer is more simple than on the salesperson side. Today, in the automotive industry, business owners, bellies are full. They do this for money. And I'm having a discussion with a very high net worth individual. He's a multi-billionaire already. And just before the awards, he says to me, he's got property, like a spreadsheet full of property. He says to me, Bobs, how do you feel about this? So I said, listen, man, yeah, it's whatever happens will happen for me and not to me. So I'm comfortable both ways. We win, great. We lose, great. No problem. I'm ready. So, but I'll tell you one thing. I know for a fact that all those people that I'm competing against, all of them, hand on heart, they want to buy farms and Lambos. Okay, that's why they come every morning and they fight. They fight and they compete. I don't want to buy a farm. I don't want to buy a Lambo. I come here to fight because I love fighting. That I love, like every day, I love this. And every single day, I process good, bad, and ugly. PBD taught me this. He said, Bobs, before you go to bed, you need to have the conversation. What was good, bad, and ugly? So every night, he said, okay, this was good, this was bad, this was ugly. Okay, the good, sweet, the bad, process or person, and then the ugly. How can we prevent this? And another trick is, how do you build a fire station rather than putting a fire hydrant there? How do I make sure that the ugly doesn't grow or multiply? And the biggest reason is dealerships. And listen, man, like on camera, I'll say this. I wish I was wired like some of these dealers that want to buy farms and Lambos from the bottom of my heart. Because waking up at 4 a.m. and going to bed at 12 and pushing the hard, pushing my team so hard, and I've pushed people away because I pushed them that hard. It's not easy on anyone, including me. It's not easy. It's just the way I'm wired. So the moment the dealer owner belly gets full, slows down, doesn't come in early, doesn't leave late, doesn't drive his people, not interested in what's going on in their personal lives, not interested if the kids are doing well at school, not interested if the cadet is not growing. You're on 6 cars for 3 months in a row. Like, homie, what's going on? Sit here, let's process your figures. Why are you not doing this? Why are you not? Okay, so do we know where the problem is? Yes. Whose fault is it? My own fault. Okay, kick your own ass and get into gear and go. So that's the biggest part when it comes to business owners. Belly full, got the farm, got the Porsche, got the Lambo, got the Land Cruiser. Sweet. Okay, financing first cost, should I pay deposit or keep use that to set the percentage of the buying? So very quickly, if you have a large deposit, I would prefer my customers not to pay the deposit up front. We will take a loan for the full amount. It gives us the highest probability to get a very good interest rate. The bank sees a 300,000 Rand car with a 100,000 Rand deposit. Okay, cool. The risk is lower, okay, but we're going to make less money. So we'll give you 14% on 200,000. Had we kept it at 300,000 Rand, we would have maybe gotten 12%. So what I suggest you do is get the full pop deal done, unless the bank requires it for affordability or equity or whatever. But get the full pop deal done with the possible interest rate, lowest possible interest rate, and then you're just paying that money, and it's called capital reduction. Your installment goes down 2 grand, so it goes from 6 to 4. Capital reduction's done. The contract signed. The bank can't now say, now we need to change the rate. Sorry for you, the rate is there. That's a very good tip. I hope you take it. What happens if you trade in a vehicle and becomes lower than the outstanding settlement amount of the car? Vehicle and then, okay, so you owe more than what your car is worth. So you've got one of three choices. Don't do the deal, keep your car. Choice number two is pay the difference out of your pocket. Okay, so that there's no over allowance. It's called an OA. And choice three, and this is the most common choice, like we processed with the Anti now with the Hilux, they're going to have to lump that amount on top of the new car. You need to make sure that that vehicle is the right vehicle for you and your family, because you can't trade it in 32 months. You're going to have to, depending on the amount loaded, you're going to have to go 48 months, maybe even longer. How do you resolve disputes between clients and staff? How do you resolve disputes between clients and staff? Yeah, that's a beautiful question. And the answer to that question is processes. There should be no disputes between clients and staff. If you have a good process culture. For example, the biggest fights that I've ever had with customers are customer phones me and then doesn't even say hello. Oh, I told F and this, I'm interested in this F and Bucky, and now I slept on it. Me and my wife spoke, and now the F and Bucky is sold. Cool. You speak to sir. F and so and so. Okay, great, sir. Did this person send you a WhatsApp message requesting you to pay a 5,000 Rand fully refundable deposit so that you can go and make the decision, come back to it whilst anybody else that's interested in that vehicle is eliminated out of action? Did he send you the WhatsApp? Yes, he did. So why are you swearing at me? I literally don't understand why you're swearing at me. You had the opportunity to eliminate that vehicle out of the market risk free with a 5,000 Rand fully refundable deposit. So if you sleep tonight and your ancestors spoke to you in your dream and said, no, don't buy a white one, buy a pink one, you had that opportunity on WhatsApp. You may not, please ever sweat me again or call my salesperson names, because that salesperson is a freaking legend and he did his job and you're angry now because you screwed up. Am I right or wrong? And then there's no way to that fight. So, and this is a process and a procedure that over time develop for all anything. Very few times I'll still get caught off guard. I'm like, holy shit, why didn't I think of that? My bad, sir. I come in, I'm always team customer. Sir, let me see it from your point of view. Did we accurately? But if you have a good process and procedure manual book that you train your people on, if this, then this, if this, then this, then your staff should not be fighting with customers. yourself are fighting with customers, then they need to be retrained or exited out of the company as soon as immediate. Okay. Next question. What is the best way to get your credit score up from zero to fairly good credit score where I can finance 200,000 rand vehicle with a credit card loan? Okay. So a loan is the worst possible thing that you can do. If you take a personal loan, the bank says, okay, cool. This guy earns 20K and he borrows a Wonga loan for 5 grand every month because he can't budget his money. He can't even come through the month. He wants us to give him a con. No. The moment they see a short-term loan, they say no. You're 20,000 or 200,000. It says no. So a credit card, small credit card, very small cell phone account, clothing account, small, that you pay for 3 months. Make sure that the debit order goes off in time, on time, every time. Lift your credit score up, may report to ITC, and your chances. Okay. Congrats, Uncle Bobby Pitco. I cannot wait to receive my possible. Me and Eddie, hopefully everything goes smooth. Jurgens Peterson. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for joining us on the live, and we'll make sure that me and Eddie will over deliver. By the way, he's one of the 2 boys that is going up 40 calls this month. He is rocking it. Him and Eugene, it is such, I'm having so much fun. It is such intense competition. I don't know what to compare it to. What's close? Let's be close for a while. Man, it's like a World Cup final with us. It's literally. I'm having the most fun. Hey, I'm stirring that pot thick every day. I'm just. Eds, did you see Eugene's got an approval? Eugene, Ed's got 3 approvals, man. Thank you so much, sir. And Ed's is a machine, and he'll take care of you. Teach me how to be a finder. Market Kolane, teach me how to be a finder. Great question. It's not a very easy skill set to teach, but it is something that is teachable. So depending on what industry you are, there's different strategies and different techniques. One of the main that I've worked on, and the journey with the YouTube channel is I watch myself after each and every piece of content, and I made notes of how to improve my public speaking. I've done so many public speaking courses. There's great ones out there, and eventually over time, I became a better communicator. I was born in Eastern Europe. I went to school in Eastern Europe. Then I came here, had to learn English, Afrikaans, and had to improve on pronunciation, speaking eloquently, learning some big words. And one of the best advices that I can give you, one of the best advice I can give you to become a great finder is you need to be a great communicator. So that's the first step. You figure that out, the rest will sort of fall into its own place at the right time if you are guided by the right mentors. Okay, next, pros and cons of extended warranties. Okay, no cons, only pros, unless you buy an extended warranty from a dealership that is not a high volume dealership. So 5,000 for 8 cars, 8 warranties a month. A warranty is a fund, it's a bucket. The more that you put into the bucket, the more that you can take out. I love a warranty company. We had problems with one of them 4 years ago. I don't want to get into that. It's a big one. But we split our business into 2. We keep them both honest. They each know that if they don't over deliver on the required service level that the other one does, they're losing my business. I'm not ruling them and bribing them with fear. I'm just very direct. These guys are good at this, you're good at that. You suck here, they are good at that. Improve. This is what they do. You're good here. Listen, you suck here. You need to improve on these 5 points if you want to maintain my business and if you want to take, because they each take 100 plus warranties a month. And I send them to clients. They look at the clients. You do get some naughty guys and girls that go and chum baboon their Golf GTI with a downpipe and all, and a big turbo the size of a toilet seat. Then they blow something, and then the assessor comes there. He says, "Bobs, did you sell this car with a?" This was literally a car with a turbo the size of a toilet seat. I said, "Don't play." He says, "Check your phone. This bra on an S3 has got a turbo this big." These Bobs, the Conrad flew out of the side here. because this car is made to boost, let's say 1.3 bar. This thing is running NF racing fuel boosting like 3 bar. Like, Bobs, what do you expect, brother? I'm like, listen, I'm honest with you. I think the customer might have played with the car a little bit. Homie, what did you do? Say, I tuned the thing a bit, then they won't pay. But if it's serviced on time, it's not an abused car, and there's a claim, the insurance companies will always pay. Our box, we believe in giving a gift of the vehicle purchase and full tank of fuel. Good question. We always give gifts. So, of late, the gifts that are really, really popular is our merch. So, this is the marketing team's idea and effort that we've started a while ago, is that some merch. So, Uncle Bobby out, and we've got Cheese Boy caps, another level caps. For the gym, we've got a gym range that's coming up, very exciting. Outwork, outtrain, outperform, outlast. A little bit of a copy, but I ask permission. And for the gym, for the gym bunnies, we give them that. We're sponsoring a strongman this week. I think it's on Friday. He's kitted out with that. But we like to give that type of gift. We do very cool cups. They are black until you put hot stuff in them, and the hot stuff is not brandy; it's coffee. And then the thing comes out. So we do lots of cool merch, different size shirts, caps. We do water bottles. I used to do wine. I'm anti-alcohol. I don't drink alcohol, so I don't like giving alcohol away. But yeah, that's what we do. And then on the fuel side, it's a very good question. I'm not going to avoid it. I'm going to answer every question. Some vehicles we can afford to do a full tank. Some vehicles we can't. But our standard operating procedure is the vehicle needs to have more than enough tank when we give you the used car, the pre-owned vehicle. But on some vehicles we can afford to do a full tank. Okay, next question. Do you have any advice for a service advisor trying to sell customers' vehicles? Let's say customer to upgrade. So as a service advisor, are you incentivized to sell vehicles? I don't think so. But if you've got an arrangement with your sales manager, used car, or a new car sales manager, potentially, what I would advise you to do is maybe warm that customer up and then take him and sit him down at a sales pro that will be able to answer more technical questions. Or the other version is, and this is gold for everybody. What you want to do is when somebody is handling a customer or an objection that's more qualified than you are, you should be very close to that person, listening, watching what he does, and then ask questions after. So, depending if you're allowed to, there's lots of training that you can receive. But if you're not allowed to, it's like a big thing if you can prep and warm up that customer, and then take him to your sales program and he can handle the rest. Because that's how he gets incentivized, and you get incentivized. Right. That's it. No more Q&A. How many people?
We also have a few restrictions for TikTok. Okay.
What does that mean?
So I think it's the detail video, text and stuff at the back.
Then I'm like,
Yeah.
so how many are left? Like 3.
No, like I said.
Okay, cool. Perfect. This was awesome, man. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Hope I left you better than I found you. Between now and next Wednesday, I could be out and about.
That's all for your note.